Did you ever hear of Kong?
Why, yes. Some native superstition, isn't it? A god or a spirit or something.
Well, anyway, neither beast nor man. Something monstrous, all-powerful, still living, still holding that island in a grip of deadly fear.
On an island with a mountain in the shape of a skull, there live natives in a village beneath a towering wall. A giant belted door stood more than half a mile tall, behind which lived the mightiest creature of them all. King Kong, the white man done you wrong, and so we sing this song to you. Mighty Kong, King Hunga, Hunga, Hunga Kong, get the load of mighty Kong.
Greetings from South Carolina! Daddy Staten here on the Daddy Dan blog. I'm back with another comic book review, and as you can see, you probably read the title. As you can see today, I'm checking out King Kong. I thought with the new King Kong movie in theaters now, and it being really kind of a 420 week, it was April 20th this weekend. Wow, how time flies. I thought I'd whip out one of the few comic books I've got where somebody smokes a blunt. That's right. It's a Kong comic book. It's called Kong, Gods of Skull Island. It's a #1. It's a Boom comic book. And you know what boom means, don't you? Boom means we're not going to get the best start in the world, but it also means we're not going to be tortured by a bunch of commercials. So let's get this comic book review started. As you can tell, I have quite a few Kong comic books, but I do not have the #1 from this other series. And I've been trying to wait till I could find the #1 to kind of hit them all off, but that's not happening. But I do got a #1 of this one, so this ought to be cool. Before I delve into this Kong comic book, Gods of Skull Island, from 2017, a #1, let me check this out. I want to show you the really cool speaker. It's one of them Bluetooth things. Check this out.
Enslave the greatest of the free. I'll catch the eighth wonder of the world for all mankind to see. He even brought a blonde along to keep Kong company. I'm Why do you run?
That's right. So I want to give a special shout out to this subscriber named Mr. Rob, who sent me this really cool Bluetooth speaker for my phone. He knows I have a little bit of a hearing disorder, and this really helps me hear things in a whole new way. Thank you, Mr. Rob. And I guess I've wasted enough time. It's time to get on to what Dave Sunstorm and his incredible brother Steven Sunstorm might call the good stuff, or Thrash Pondo, or even Pat McCormick. It's King Kong and Skull Island. It's Gods of Skull Island. Let's check it out. So they waste the cover of this incredibly long comic book, but since they don't have commercials, I guess they can waste a lot of time. Wow, this looks familiar. Back in the day, a pilot was circling over Monster Island. Wah, wah. Monster Island, he got shot down. He crashed. So info panels brought to you by the Daily Dan blog. Well, we get on with the story, and this lady's telling the story about how Dad's plane went down on an uncharted island, went down and crashed in the mountains, witnessed by, apparently, Bigfoot. I thought this was going to be a King Kong movie, but Bigfoot's checking it out, watching it drop. And then 57 months later, years later, 3 months later, whatever that blew hell, months later, Gerald, the captain, and Lady Jane all headed out to Monster Island on their little boat, but the rocks was rough. Am I the only one who thinks the captain looks like Dr. Wu? That's Captain Wu right there. That's Dr. Wu. That's right. Dr. Wu is the captain of the boat, rolling through the treacherous island known as Monster Island shore. They set sail. They come aboard. They unpack the little John boats. They headed over to the shore where they find Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. No, they find a bunch of men dressed like sticks. What a unique tribe is the tribe uses sticks and wood to camouflage themselves like armor. So in full glossy, shiny panels brought to you by the Daily Damn Blog, we can see these tree men. We can see these tree men wearing their incredibly made suits of wooden armor surrounding the adventurers from the ship. Well, I'm just enjoying the really great art in this comic book. I'm surprised. Usually in one of these boom comics, you don't get much for the good art like this. I'm kind of shocked. Anyway, traveling on through the island, they come across the stick people. The stick people surround them, but they make a peace offering. Hey, we'll trade you some beef jerky. And the guys are like, what? And then a human dressed normally appears from behind the stick people. So Chief Wannabe he says, hey, the stick people dress like this to protect themselves from all these monsters up here on this island. Don't take us as a horrible cannibal tribe. We are not. We are civilized. And how they speak English, it does not explain. I guess that pilot that crashed and taught them some English back in the day, right? They say, they head on down to the beach. This guy looks like he's hatching a devious, Mike Bleasy looking plan. So let's take the ship on down the river. That's right, I should have read this comic book better. As they take the ship down the river. That's right, Captain Jack, Gerald, Jane, and the crew are heading deeper and deeper into the monster-infested island. The ship is tossed and turned as it carries on down the river of darkness, as Kong watches from atop a mountain nearby. Gerald and Jane didn't get on the boat. They hung out with the natives. That's right, they like them stick people. So they having a talk with the stick people and learning about their legends and culture. And Gerald walking down finds a book, not just any book. He finds a journal. They have a big party to celebrate someone who can read the journal. Gerald and Jane are happy. They read the journal and they learn that it's been kept by the people who were survivors before them and before them. They meet the pilot and the pilot says, hey man, I wrote in that journal too. Pilot is smoking a great big whoopie blunt. He coughs, he gags because marijuana grows wildly on Kong Island, apparently. That's why Kong's always in a good mood. Wah, wah, wah. Look, his eyes look like my flocks. Well, moving right along over this way. Who wrote this freaking book? Anyway, the book tells about the Vikings coming over and not making it real well and winding up skeletons on Skull Island. The book tells about the conquistadors that come over there and try to take over the island and wound up bird bait because it didn't work out good to be a conquistador. Gerald done smoked some of that blunt and he's having a bad trip over here. He don't even know where he's at. Somebody must have slipped him some hallucinogenic shrooms as he's having nightmares about giant monsters and bugs and all kind of weird stuff and growing old right before his eyes. You know, Gerald ought to lay off that stuff. It ends with the terrifying emergence of Sasquatch. God darn it, no, that's Kong. Why did they make Kong look like a Bigfoot? You know, it really irks me when you make King Kong look like a Bigfoot. Dude draws out the gun, bam, 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 and shoots it and wakes up and realizes it was all a dream. A month later, oh, Gerald and Jane's done settled down. They do what they do best. They got people building farmhouses and structures. We're going to build us a wooden cabin. We're going to build us a wall. That's right. We're going to build a wall. A wall to keep the monsters out right here. What do you think? Captain Wood goes, I think that's a good idea. So, in full panels brought to you by the Daily Damn Blog, you get to see the other side of the island. That's right. This must be the other side of the island, the part you never see in all the movies. You know, where some white folks get married on the island, Gerald and Jane get together, form a community, build a wall of their own, got some incredibly weird natives that dress like stick people to help them. They're having a little Indian village. They're learning about the history of the island, and all this in this comic book, this makes me want to go, Bleh! Oh my God, where's Kong? Oh my God, did I ask for it and I get it. I get this lizard looking like something that crawled out of a 1950s movie. They're these giant lizards, and Baby Kong. That's right. I get King Kong and Little Kong looking like a Sasquatch and a little Sasquatch. Watching a big Gila monster. Will they be a fight? Of course not. Squish! Kong stomps the bug monster with one giant step, and they walk off. And that's truly the way it ended. And just to make it interesting, the natives stick a big giant tree down the monster and roast it up as Gerald decides to smoke a great big blunt because he ain't never saw no stuff like that before. And I'm with Gerald. It's about time to smoke a great big blunt, don't you think, guys? Wow, happy 420, everybody. And I guess this is good a place as any to do up these shout-outs, right? And let me give a special shout-out to my main man, Dave Sunstorm, the leader of the Good Stuff community. Our Good Stuff Fuhrer! And his incredible brother Steven Sunstorm, the second in command. And a good shout out to my guy, Thrash Pondo Puns. You know, he saved every one of us. Pat McCormick at the Golden Rage of TV. And as we're checking out the Kong cover, let me read off the list. Retro Nerd Girl, the Nostalgic Podcast, my blockers everywhere. Corey's Comedy Channel, Big Guys 45s, and BK on the air. The incredible list of the good stuff guys. One day you might make the list. Stay tuned to find out if you're the good stuff! Now in full 420 style panels brought to you by the Daily Damn Blog, we carry on with the show as the stick men and the boat people argue for supremacy on the island. Gerald slowly grows a beard, begins to look like Dr. Wu, and burns up the blunts. And then he get busy with Jane. They're going to make some little Kongs. Watch out. The natives are like, oh, what are they doing? I know exactly what I should put in here, but I'm not. That would be funny. Anyway, so we got Jane and Gerald getting busy. We got natives talking about supremacy and everybody getting high. And getting high. And talking about stuff and getting high some more and accusing each other and hearing things in the woods and encountering whatever in the blue heck this thing is, this raptor looking thing that comes out of nowhere like a devil bat, like a demon. But when you're on Monster Island, it sure is nice when a monster shows up and eats somebody, right? Oh God, he got the whole thing in his mouth. He got the whole man in his mouth. Oh my God. In full exciting panels brought to you by the Daily Damn Blog. Things get interesting. Things get action. Guns go off. Battles with monsters ensue. The monsters going down as the rest, there were other monsters and they retreated. The other monsters retreated because one got shot. These monsters are officially considered wusses. An NPC character we hardly ever saw, maybe for £1 on a boat somewhere, is dead. We're all sad. Let's bury the guy. Oh my goodness. In my life, I have never saw such sadness and grief shared for a character who appeared in two. I look back. He was in the background of two scenes. He never said nothing. He died, and it broke everybody's heart. And everybody's heart's probably going to get a lot worse as they travel through the flower beds of death. And check it out. This dude got stuck in one of them giant Venus flytraps, and it snaps closed. And then right then it starts pouring down rain so you can scratch another boat guy that we never heard of. Wow, that was quick. The flowers spit him out, and he's a skeleton. Oh, my God. These guys are getting wasted one by one. That's what happens to background characters in a Kong movie or comic book. They wind up Fuber carb, Belter carb. Check it out. The thing from Tremor showed up and made a couple of more. You could probably see it better if it wasn't these shiny, glossy, new modern panels. That's right. Let me make it obvious. I much prefer a good older comic book from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and the early 80s. You know, the good stuff. Not those modern comics, but I will give credit where credit's due. The art in this modern comic is off the chain good, even though King Kong kind of looks like Bigfoot. I guess that's why I like it better, you know, because of Bigfoot and all. You know, that's my kind of stuff. And be sure to check out my other channel, Project Cryptid, where you can see real Bigfoot videos and real monsters. Project Cryptid on YouTube. I really hope that don't turn out to be the thumbnail. That would suck. Anyway, I'm hoping for a Kong thumbnail. I don't get to pick them. You know how that goes. Anyway, Stickman and Gerald and Jane are headed out across the island. They're on a tour. That's right. The Stickmen told them about a mountain with a city on top of it, and they got to go find out what's going on over there. Oh my God. So they began the arduous task to cross the island to head for the city on top of the mountain. That's probably made of freaking gold or something. But right off the rip, they run into T-Rex who chomp, 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 a big red T-Rex. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Going Jaws, that's right, T-Rex then come along and ate up some more NPC crew members who we did not even know their names. I'm feeling to feel sorry for these guys. They're like the guys who wear a red shirt on Star Trek. They're just along for to defeat the monsters so the rest of the guys can get through. I think Gerald's beginning to realize that as slowly his beard comes in and he begins to look more and more like the man we know him as today. And life rolls on as deep in the woods, two big eyes are watching. Hid. Is it King Kong or is it the legendary Sasquatch? Based on this picture, I'd say Sasquatch, wouldn't you? So in full exciting panels, the climax begins as Kong goes 1-on-1 with Red Godzilla. Oh, crap. No, it ain't Red Godzilla. As Kong goes 1-on-1 with the big red T-Rex looking thing. If they had made this mother green, it could have been Godzilla and Kong, but I guess somebody had the rights to Godzilla. So they made Red Godzilla, Red T-Rex, Red Monster. And of course, Kong just rips him apart. Kong takes him down and just literally rips his jaw and the top of his head off. Is this trying to make a Godzilla statement to somebody there, Kong? And that's where Kong looks up and looks back and looks just like a Bigfoot. Kong is a Bigfoot. Kong is a giant Bigfoot, not really a gorilla, right? Anyway, then Kong jumps. Kong jumps like the Hulk in one of them movies from the 1990s. And when Kong comes down, oh my God, squish! He lands on a bunch of the crew and squishes them into little bitty pieces as this guy goes, "No, Kong, what are you doing? I'll kill you, I'll kill you, you damn dirty ape!" No, he did not say that. Kong looks down like a big mean mother, like a Bigfoot, and snatches up one of the guys and throws him out through the air. Then he walks over and stomps on another guy. Then he reaches down and picks up this one guy and snaps his head off like a toothpick. Then he grabs this one guy who grabs a pistol and shoots Kong in the nose. It just makes Kong ill as Kong kills another guy. And then Kong pick up a chick. He pick it up, and that, oh no, Kong got Jane. Joe reaches down for his gun as Bigfoot Kong stares down. My, the excitement in this book is off the chain. And I'm laughing my ass off as the Bigfoot Kong decides not to eat Jane. He just drags that bitch off to the top of the mountain because, you know, you saw the movie, right? And we had to emulate the movie a little bit. Bigfoot Kong loved Jane. Gerald gets took back to the boat for some medical attention, but as he finds a lot of weapons left by a bunch of dead people that came before him. Why is that even on here? It's armor of the god. Oh, they're going to find some legendary weapons to help fight Kong in a cave somewhere. But it ain't going to do no good because it's in Kong's cave, right? And then we get this big picture of Bigfoot-eyed Kong staring out. Guess what I'm going to do to Jane, Gerald. Guess what I'm going to do. At the end, oh, I can't wait for part 2 of this bad boy. I'm gonna have to get that and check it out. Or you can pick up this comic book, one called The Woods, the story of Dr. Wu and Eric and how they became the men they are today. The Woods! Oh, fuck. You know, I gotta do this. Be sure to check out The Woods. Be sure to check out Eric Woods on Paranormal Highway here on YouTube and his incredible brother, Dr. Wu. You know, Robert T. Wood here on YouTube. And together, they are The Woods. I had to do that. And we waste the back cover with whatever dismal nightmare with tentacles this turns out to be. Oh, my God. Thanks for joining me again today, guys. This has been Danny Staten on the Danny Dan blog. Check it out. Kong, Gods of Skull Island, #1 from 2017. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. This comic book's actually good. I like the art in it. I think it's really good, but I think Kong looked a lot like Bigfoot. Let me know if you agree in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And until next time, I'll be back with something that might actually be good next time, too. Blog over.